Coach. Thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. It's Hill, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement.
That Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing, Rivers. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you got to win those matchups, because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6-man.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rivers into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. He looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing is Jackson. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Hayward able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Jackson on 3rd and long. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. The 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. At the 24-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Here we go. Check back, check back. Let's go. Get set.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
48.
Jackson now. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 1st down, Rivers. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
48 to Mike.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Devin Bush, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on second down. Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Rivers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Again, it's Rivers. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Mike 48, Mike 48. Not today, you are. Not today.
Now Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown, his first touchdown on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He uncorks it for Snead. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 12. A big play there just before halftime. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Jackson. Buying time to his left. He'll run it. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. Tucker now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check out three. Hey. Mike 48.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. It's caught by Sanders. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On third down, Rivers. Room to run past midfield. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And they give this time to the tailback. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
No. Check safety, check safety.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rivers. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards the pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
36.
Here's Rivers. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start them out has them at the 45 already.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack. Jackson, and the pressure gets to him again. T.J. Watt, his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Jackson down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead. His first touchdown on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 15 yards on the play, first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
You draw quarters. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Hey, Rocket. Wait, hey, behind.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kenny Young coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack on 1st down, Rivers, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Check, check. Lucky. Hey, 79. Buckle one. Check 43. Behind.
3rd and long for Rivers. And he comes back with one complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Check it back.
Now Rivers on 4th down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
My 40. Wait. Kill. Turn up. Kill.
Rivers now, the throw on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check. Wait. Hey, go, Mike 40. You can't block me.
To the air again here, Rivers. And this one's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Mike! 40's a Mike. Yeah, that's what I do. Switch. Hey, go Oren. Oren.
They'll throw again. Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. He's got the first down and more past midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now it's Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To throw is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go down again. Bradley Chubb, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He's going to let it fly. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the slants. Watch him. Hey, watch that.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. T.J. Watt, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Done. 190. Mike 40. Mike 40. Go. Go. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Hey, 79. 79. 300.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Tim Williams makes the tackle. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
He's coming. Double up, double up. Hey, easy, easy.
And to give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set 180, 380. 40's Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Hey. Mike 40, check, he's coming. Watch the pass.
Now Rivers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Complete to Washington. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, that... simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Hey, Brown 80. Left front. Check. 40's Mike. 40's a Mike. 40's a Mike. Q.
Rivers. And that's complete to Sanders. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. They'll look to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Hey, check right. No. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Mark 55.
One last shot for Jackson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Steelers, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.